Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm doing the biannual inspection and measure up of the koi. So it's the 3rd of October today. They were last out early April, so I like to get them out, as I say, early April, to just make sure they've come out of the winter okay, give them a once over, give them a little measure, see what they're starting the season at in terms of size. And then again at this time of year, beginning of October, again just check them over, make sure they're in tip-top condition before the winter, and measure them up again, just see what progress they've made in terms of growth, and have a look at them for see how they've changed, compare them to the April pictures, just to see how they've changed over the 6-month period. It's always interesting to see. So if you haven't seen any of the other videos in this sort of series, do check out. Probably just the last one in April is worth seeing, then you know where they were at then. But I will put pictures up and sizes as we go along, so you can see what they were anyway back then. So yeah, I'll crack on and get the first one out. Okay, I'm going to start with this little chag. So if you've watched the previous video, you'll remember this little guy. I got him as a bit of a stopgap really while I was waiting for a better chag to come along. I got him about 150 centimeters, 150 millimeters, 15 centimeters, and he just refused to grow basically. And the last time I measured him up in April, he was 170. He'd grown very little, and so I got another chag, which I've made a video on, you may have seen, to replace this guy, and this guy was for moving on. So I told a friend of mine he could have this, and he just hasn't got round to picking him up, so he's been still in my pond all summer. And today he's, over this period, he's grown a little bit, so still looks absolutely cracking fish, scale perfect, proportions are good, everything's good about him, the colour I like. It's just a great little fish, and now he's started to grow a bit, albeit still very slowly, but he's about maybe 28 centimeters now, so he's probably gone from, he's probably put about 110 120 centimeters on since April. So I mean, for a chag, still not shattering, but yeah, and to be honest, I think I'm going to keep hold of him now. So yeah, there he is. As I say, he's a cracking looking fish. He always was a great looking fish. He just needed to grow a bit, and finally he has done a little bit, so all good. Oh, he's actually 30 centimeters, so he's gone from 17 in April to 30 today, so he's put on 13 centimeters, 130 mil. I say it's still not earth shattering, but I'm really happy with that, to be honest. I'd give up on him, and he's come good, so happy days. Bonus. I'll show you the fish that I got to replace him with as well. I'll try and catch that up next. If I remember rightly, that was 31 centimeters when it went in April. Yeah, it's considerably bigger today, I must admit, but it is a much better quality fish. So I'll try and catch her up now, and we'll have a look. Get this back. Okay, so this is the chag that I spoke of, which basically I bought to replace the previous one. So this went in. This was the subject of a video I did, so do check that out if you've not seen it. I believe when it went in April, it was 31 centimeters, and I'll just give her a quick measure up now before we go any further. As of today, she is just about 42, so from 31 up to 42, 110 centimeters from April, so that's more than happy with that. To be honest, it's growing a little bit quicker than I would like. If you've not seen my videos before, I only have a very small pond. I don't push fish. Growth is not a priority of mine, because they'll just outgrow my pond quicker. So the fed wheat germ. I do feed them a lot, as koi are kind of grazers rather than binge eaters. They're fed little amounts often throughout the day, but they have wheat germ all year round, so 110 is, you know, it shows the quality of the fish, I guess, but it's, I'd be more than happy if it was half that. I mean, looking at this fish now, it does look like it will be a very big fish. The tail tube on it, you can see, is with proportion to the rest of the koi is huge. Yeah, I think this will be a very big fish. I can see me having to move this on in a couple of years. I think it will quickly outgrow my pond. So yeah, condition absolutely perfect. Not a flaw with this fish. It's the friendliest fish in there. It eats anything and everything, fingers, hands. It's a real character. So I paid a little bit more for this than the kind of average. You know, I don't have expensive koi. I paid a little bit more for this, but still not a lot. It wasn't an expensive fish by any stretch. Just in relation to the others, it was a little more. But yeah, it's a cracking fish. Really pleased with this. This came from Quality Nishikigoi, off Tim at Quality Nishikigoi, as did all the fish. Absolutely delighted with that. As I say, I wouldn't be upset if it'd grown a little less, but it is what it is. So yeah, 42 centimeters today from 31 in April. So get her back in. Okay, so this is a Kohaku. Not, again, a cheap fish, a very inexpensive fish. Not the best quality, but nice enough fish to watch develop in this pond. Was 27 centimeters in April. So let's have a look what she is today. As of today, she is 38. So from 27 to 38, 110 centimeters again. So yeah, decent enough. About what I would expect. You know, 100 centimeters is kind of what I would expect. Pattern wise, I haven't got a picture of how she looked in April, but I'll put one up on the screen so we can see if there's been any change in the pattern. I would anticipate there's probably more white visible now as she fills out. The white on the sides low down becomes more visible from the top, so I'd expect she probably looks a little less red and a little bit more of a white pattern showing now, I'm guessing. But other than that, yeah, health wise, again, perfect condition, not a blemish on her. Good feeder, good eater, nice and friendly. All these fish come up and take food out your hand. There's no, I keep the water absolutely spotless. So they're very healthy. They have good appetite, so they'll come up and take food out your hand, no problem. And this is no exception. So yeah, the Benny on this koi is down at the moment, which is to be expected. As she's done quite a bit of growing over the few months, the pattern, the Benny does look weak, and that's normal. Come April, it will have thickened up. It will look more red, ready to go again next growing period. But yeah, no complaints. As I say, cost next to nothing, extremely cheap fish. But yeah, well, nice one to watch as she grows. Happy days, get her back in. Okay, this is the Yamabuki Ogon. A little disappointing, this one, I must say. The body shape on this one is not great. It's just kind of not growing really. It's not kicked on as I hoped it would. The skin looks okay. It's perfectly healthy, eats well, no issues in that respect. But yeah, the body shape is just a little off. I think this one, if I do keep hold of this, I think it'll probably turn into a bit of a rugby ball in a year or two. I may actually move this one on, I'm not sure yet. But again, this was 31 centimeters in April, and it's 30. No, calm down, mate. It's not okay. Chili your beans. 35 today, so 40, 4 centimeters, 40 millimeter is nothing at all for, particularly for an Ogon. They do generally grow well. For whatever reason, it's just not kicked on. It's just stalled, and it seems to have lost its shape a little. It is what it is. These things happen. Have another look at them in April. I may move this one on. I'll see how it goes. But again, very healthy, not a mark on it. Friendly, happy fish, eats well. Yeah, just a little reluctant to grow this year. Okay, we'll get her back in. Okay, so this is a red-eyed Karashigoi, and again, I've made a video on this koi when I purchased it back in April. Again, came from Tim at Quality Nishikigoi. Now, this koi's got a little bit of carp pox on its right pec there. Nothing too much of a concern. I'll keep an eye on that. Other than that, yeah, perfect health. She does get a little stressed when I capture this one. The sort of concern, I guess, is the shape of this. Well, not so much the body shape, but the weight that she carries. So it's a real dump truck, this. Really deep fish. I'm hoping that over the winter there's some eggs in there that she'll absorb, and I'm hoping she'll drop some of that belly off her over the winter. So I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll have another look at her in April and see if that turns out to be the case. Not a huge amount of growth in terms of length, but yeah, it seems to just want to get fatter, this one. I mean, that's probably a result of the size of my pond and things like that. It is a small pond, so I've got to expect that to happen. I think she will continue to grow in length, but just not as quickly as she would in a bigger pond with more space. But yeah, again, a very friendly koi. Really happy with her. No complaints at all. I'll just see if she'll let me measure her. She does get a bit arsey in the bowl. 46 centimeters today, so from 41. So she's put on 5 centimeters over the summer. As I say, for a fish, particularly a Karashigoi, it's not a lot. But it's growth nonetheless. And as I say, if she grew as quick as a Karashi is capable of growing, she will outgrow my pond in no time. So no bad thing. So yeah, that's the red-eyed Karashigoi. All good, all again in perfect health. Just that little bit of carp pox on the front of the pec there. But yeah, no problem. That's no concern. I'll keep an eye on that. Okay, we'll get her back in because she does get a bit stressed out being caught. She's a little orange at the moment. That she gets stressed with being caught. She's a lot lighter colour than that in the pond normally, so get her back in. Okay, so this is a little, I guess, Mariten Rin Kohaku. Very small fish, this one, when I got it, for its age and in relation to the other fish of the same age. Very slow grower, which again I don't mind. It was a very cheap fish. I didn't have high expectations, but it's going along nicely, I must admit. Not owned a Rin koi before. This is my first. They're not usually my bag, but this one caught my eye and I give it a go. And as I say, I'm very pleased with it. I'm certainly not disappointed with it at all. Slow grower, nice placid fish, nice and calm. Again, perfect condition. Not a mark on her. I think in a few years' time it'll probably be a nice fish when it reaches a good size. It's proportion wise, it looks good. It's about, where are we? Can't see its tail. 31. I'll give it 31. So again, yeah, a small fish, slow growth. This was actually, where's my sheet, 23 in April, up to 31, so put 8 centimetres on. A little below average, but yeah, decent enough. Kept its body shape nicely. The skin's good actually on this, and the Mariten spots holding up. So yeah, really happy with it. Really interested to see this fish in a few years' time, to be honest. If we can keep the condition as it is now, get it up above 50 centimetres, up 60 maybe centimetres, I think it will be a cracking fish. Definitely for the price as well. Okay, we'll get him back in. Okay, so this is the Goshiki. So this fish was 28 centimetres back in April. These are really cool, I must admit. I've not owned a Goshiki before either. I was always red and white, and occasionally a bit of black. But again, it's really interesting to see how it changes. So at the moment, it's gone quite a little bit lighter again, a little bit grayer. So parts of the summer period there, it was very black. So it's starting to lighten up again. Pattern wise, I really like it is quite flowery, the benny, but it's balanced, you know, there's kind of even amounts down each side, and the steps alternate from left to right. Again, not an expensive fish at all, so yeah, really happy with this one, I must admit. When people come and look at the pond, they're drawn towards the bigger fish, but once they get past that, this one's always the one that people comment on, I must admit. I can sort of see why. So, let's have a look at the size. A quick measure. So, we've got 37 centimetres. As I say, 28 in April, so that one's put on 9 centimetres, 90 mil. So yeah, about average, all around that kind of mark, all very similar. Just the odd one that's a little different. So yeah, really pleased. Body shape wise, holding up well. Looks really good. And again, perfect health. There's not a mark on it. Absolutely bang on. Eats well, friendly. So yeah, cool. Happy with that. I'll get her back in the pond, and we'll get the next one out. Okay, I've probably saved the best till last. So this is a Showa. This one was, what was it, 31 centimetres back in April. So it's not a huge grower. It won't have put on a massive amount of length, but it is starting to fill out. It's a very slim fish, this one. It's always been slim. It's a bit of a racing snake, this. But in terms of quality, this is far and away the best quality of all the fish that I have in here. Hopefully it comes across on the camera, but the skin on this fish is unbelievable. The white is just, it really is incredible. If you look back at sort of the Rin Kohaku or the other Kohaku, you'll see the white on those is nothing like this. This one is far and away the best quality skin wise I've got. The Kohaku pattern, again, I guess Mariten. The Kohaku pattern, the base for this fish is fine, sort of 4 steps essentially. Pretty simple, but you know, okay. The sumi is a lot of sumi underlying, and I'll put a picture up of this in April and we can see if there's been much change, but I don't think there has yet. I think a few years before this is kind of finished in terms of the sumi that's underlying coming up, and obviously there's going to be a lot of sumi on this fish. It will be a dark fish. Got a nice white nose and head, but then from the shoulders back, there's going to be a lot of sumi. So you can see the patches between all the beni will pretty much fill up with black. Down the sides are still white, and there doesn't look to be any underlying sumi down the sides. So as the fish grows again and the sides have become more visible from the top, you will see the white skin from the top outside of the sumi pattern, just to keep it from getting too dark and to show off that skin. But yeah, it's a cracker. I really love this fish, it's ace. Probably female, I think. I think it's female. I'm not too fussy, to be honest. Obviously you want all females in your pond if you can. It's not always possible. Even the most surefire female turns out to be male sometimes, but I think this is a female from what I can tell. But yeah, it's brilliant. I could just sit and look at this fish all day long. So let's give her a measure up. A quick measure. As I say, 31 in April, about 36 today. So only 50 centimetres, not massive, which is what I expected. But again, I'm not bothered about that at all. As long as the quality stays, that's all I'm worried about. Perfect health again, not a mark on it at all, spotless. Yeah, the skin, I hope it comes across. The nose in particular, for such a young fish, it's so white, it's unbelievable. Normally, as a younger koi will tend to have kind of a yellow coloured looking head, and basically that's because the skin is so thin and translucent at that age that you're seeing underneath into the skull basically, and what's inside. And as the fish ages, the skin thickens, and you see that less and less. And then when the koi finishes 5, 6, 7 years old, you would hope by then the skin is white enough that the head looks white. But this fish is just, it's already, you know, as good as anything I've ever owned in terms of the white skin, particularly on the nose in front of the Maritime spot. It's great. Good, interesting to see. I can't wait to see some sumi come up on the white ground, so you can sort of see the quality of that. There's sumi that's present on the red. Looks excellent, but obviously you've got that kind of undercoat there in the form of the red to help the sumi out, kind of thing. So the sumi that forms on the white will be the real telltale of in terms of the quality of the fish. But yeah, better get her back in the pond. As I say, I could just stand and look at this fish all day. It's ace. Okay, get her back in. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I do always enjoy seeing how they've developed. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's quite an interesting part of the hobby for me to see koi and how they change over time and grow and hopefully flourish. So yeah, if you found that interesting, please do hit the like button. If you've not done already, do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And as I say, thank you for watching, and look out for the next video.